Well, I'm pretty excited. It really wasn't supposed to be here for like another week, but it arrived today. So I'll be assembling this probably tomorrow. It's a little late in the evening for me now, but look at this guy compared to my hand. Like if I can get a grip on it, I can almost pick it up with one hand. Got a little bit of work I want to do on this, other than obviously assembling it all. But like this has no oil in it, so this needs to be packed with gear oil, and the shaft should be all greased up. And obviously the tiller mount has to be put together, as well as the tiller handle and all that. Alright, just going through and snugging this up. That's the bulk of that. I might need to have a thing to hook this to make life easier to fill the oil and everything, so let's do that. Alright, so hopefully get the mount, and if it's possible. Oh, there it goes. Just didn't seem to want to do it the first 50 times I did that. That's all. We're good now, kind of. Can imagine it's standard. There. Nothing sensible. I think I'm calling him Thomas. So anyway, this is obviously the little boat motor. And I'm going to do another thing a little bit tighter with some shots, but while I have some time here, I'm going to go over some things that I did and some things that need to be done. So what was the weirdest thing was you had to hook up the throttle and the throttle cable to the throttle body. Which, okay, I kind of understand how to do all that. However, this cable piece wouldn't fit. So I kept on fighting it, and there was like these two different areas. And this guy was into play where what's threading in now went into the bottom of this, which you can't thread into. So it just was slopping and moving around. And when you would move the tiller around like this, it would, if this moved at all, this, you can see it moves a little bit, but it would just completely go crazy. And when it was a beast to get the cable on. And when I did get the cable on, you could tell, like, you know, the throttle was all the way forward, and it was all bad. It was all stupid. So after looking at it for like a long time and getting rather upset at it, I finally was like, you know what? We just need to take this piece off and everything should be fine. And it is. I don't know if it just happened to be a hiccup of the new person on the line that day or whatever. So if you have a hard time putting this particular model together, and actually I'm not usually one to put that in my descriptions to kind of get the views, but I'm going to this time so people, I had a hard time finding stuff on this motor to understand if I really want to buy it or not. And so far, just in the break-in period, sitting on my bench here, having it run for probably closest to about half hour, 45 minutes. I had a sputtery thing in the beginning, and that seems to be going away. That might be the fuel, that might be, I don't know. I have no idea. But it's such a simple machine. It's very similar to a lawnmower. A little bit smaller, so it's like an oversized weed whacker or a very tiny lawnmower. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Everything's fine. The one thing I will touch on, and I will try to remember to bring it up in another way to kind of be more redundant, because people skip around like I do, is the length of this. There is a slightly cheaper model on Amazon, but it's only a 17-inch long reach or drop or whatever to your impeller prop. I'm still learning boat stuff, so give me a break here. So anyways, long story short, make sure that you have the right length. I think this one is 24 inches. First obstacle. Just that easy. Actually, this is considered a small canoe. It's really not crazy heavy. Hey, look how clean it is. Little spider webbage. Not bad at all. Actually, still have the cap for this, but I use it now for a water trough for the birds because they can't tip it over and it works great. And this as a cooler sucks. And as a seat is even worse. I'll probably make a low profile seat that'll sit in this. So it still has a little bit of storage. but will work better. 'Cause the other one will make a big hump. So when you sat on it, you were too tall, and it just balance was horrible. All right, so I'm trying to build all this out of cedar because it can handle the water a lot better. But cedar's not the strongest, so I'm gonna figure out how I want to beef this up. I got all this stuff on sale. Obviously, some are cut from other projects. This one broke at a really bad knot thing. So, anyways, yeah, this was all 70% off. So I got this for a steal of a deal. Oh, cedar smells so good. Got my canoe up on blocks, man. So hopefully I can hook up the tiller here in a minute and see how many points of contact, because really I was originally thinking just having a C-clamp kind of thing, but I was thinking just, you know, if I also have one across to this back, which would be a monster C-clamp though, wouldn't hurt. I have a silly little one. Keep. There's a piece of chalk stuck on here, or chalk-like product, catching this thing. This little hold plate. So, prices averted. She's jagged and ugly, so maybe we can clean that up. Got it. Oh, we should probably have this bolted to a thing. I got this thing down before. See that? Actually, I cut them. Surprisingly, I mean, I guess they broke cut. Surprisingly, in like similar fashion. Look at that. Who'd have thunk it? Oof, it's like, that was my other fear too. It'd be like, I mean, it's on the edge of scary. See? So I think it's time to wash the old Coleman. It's pretty bad. This is the worst side of things. What you hear screaming in the background is the boat motor. I'm still kind of breaking in at home, which is a weird thing. Yeah, she's really quiet. That's had its higher idle. It's not spinning the prop. That's why it's kind of hanging out by itself. Fantastic shape. I think it's called R-Max or something like that. Material shop. Sometimes this lichen stuff comes off easier dry. I forget why they got all slimy. Slippy screw. That's not it. Not really. It's just vanity because it does nothing for the movement or anything of the boat. This looks prettier. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the time to... Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that was satisfying. To get all this off. Oh, the sea is being problematic. Leaves the last little bit on the copyright R thing. And that side is magnanimous. And I think it looks really good with that weird kind of ombre green blue thing we got going on. Like a green to a turquoisey kind of thing. I don't know. You tell me, what do you think? Okay. I am really quite happy with the progress today, because this is clean, which don't get me wrong, isn't like the most important thing in the world for the function of a canoe, but I also got the mount for the tiller motor all set. It's just kind of rusty in there right now because I got to put on some more oil treatment before I put the clamps on, and so this way it's easy to take on and off for going in and out of the truck or wherever we're going to go, because I'm not always going to use the motor. So yeah, it's really easy to mount up actually. There's 3 straps, and actually just 2. This one and the front one, because that rope is always back there, and I just loop it through the seat and bring it around like that. Mid-run, I decided to launch from this place called the Chippewa Nature Center a little bit further down the road. The launch is more natural bank, and I just thought it'd be easier. And it was, actually. There was a gentleman that helped me. However, he kind of felt, I wouldn't say he felt obligated to help me. He worked there, so he's just a very nice person. But to kind of get me along, because there was a bunch of kids coming through for school, like testing the waters for plasticine or something. So, I think, even though I wasn't originally designed it to go center, I think I'm going to be a little more inside. And it's kind of angled weird, so as soon as it just barely starts to hold, you gotta stop and then put the other one, and then it'll have like cross tension. And actually they hold really, really good. Seems good to me, Bob. Alright. That guy a little coat. Kind of surprised me. I don't know why. Holy shit. Yeah, so the one had a throttle kill. Attached to, oh my Yeah. So Thomas is a beast for this. You're definitely going to want ballast up front. I was rolling solo. I knew it was kind of a thing, and I very much underestimated how much of a thing it was going to be. So yeah, that's a thing. I want people to learn from my almost fucking derfing it like a mofo. Other thing I want to illustrate is this is, even though I'm not motorboating around and having as much fun as I thought I was going to be, I'm going to kind of cut my losses and start heading back. So it's going to take a beast to head back up and pack the fellow up by myself. I just realized too, I'd actually even moved the mount. The clip came undone. So oh, look at that! All sorts of knowledge learned. And one of the things is everyone was saying that these caps leaked, and they must have fixed that because it's not leaking, and there wasn't any oil coming out. And yeah, I want to pull on a full string kill switch. I think that's a good idea. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how hairy things got there and how it almost got really bad. I didn't realize that I broke off, well, it broke off, but popped off that C-clamp. So just when you think you got it figured out, getting this ready to get all packed up, I realized, like, you know, one of the other flaws to using the C-clamps is obviously it fell off. That was the problem. And the other thing is, it's like when it fell off, it's on the outside, so it falls into the water. So if that happens, even if I try to use those still in the design, it falls off, I'm screwed. There's a hole there, found it though. But actually, it fell off right there. So I'm gonna try to get it. It kind of messes up my theory that when I went bananas is because it gave way, and that's when I lost it, and you know, control it is. No, it just, I stuck with the boat. Well, there's the sugar shed, which is actually where the car is parked. It's just a bit steep to try to get this shit out of here. But not to say, I don't want to piss these people off. Chippewa Nature Center are very good people. I made it. Barely, kind of, sort of. It really wasn't horrible. The thing is, so this is the launch area. This is where we launch. So as you can see, well, hopefully, it's really rocky and flat. And with the rocky flatness, it's very quick. And even way out there, it gets very, very quick and kind of plate. And so trying to go way out, I thought about going way out and circling back and trying to come in with the angle of those rocks. So I ended up just trying to come in between here, like that rock and that you see there, I think, that rock and the bank, and it was just not happening. I kept on bottoming out, so I brought it all the way in, and it was like pushing it and running up the hill and pushing it and running up the hill until I got here, and then I drug it up, and it was kind of a weird angle. This is not the most well-conceived launch spot, but we're here now, so we're gonna go get the truck and continue on. I was so pleased. It didn't seem to leak gas or oil, like a lot of people said it did. And maybe those are different generations and they've tweaked it and made it better. But yeah. Give it the last ubiquitous shake. Sure ain't going anywhere. We'll find out again. Hey, you guys made it to the end. It's funny because you get to see stats and stuff on YouTube when you have a channel. And if I did the math right, roughly about 7 of you actually make it all the way to the end. So welcome, 7, and thanks for watching another complete episode. And if there's another 8 or 9, count now, welcome. At the end, this is now present time. All my other episodes, the episode as you watch it is actually 3 weeks behind this actual timeline of me and you talking right now. So that way I can give a little insight of things to come and maybe talk about some things that got missed in the editing. Which on this one wasn't much. I just kind of cut out where I had put the canoe up on the truck and how you do it. You put the one nose up and lift up the other side, whatever. I think that's really about the only thing. A little bit motor tweaky stuff, but nothing major. But I misspoke on the last episode. At the end, I had mentioned that we had closed on the island. We hadn't closed yet. They accepted the offer, and the title company started doing the title search or whatever it is that title companies do. But it seems like all that's fine because they say that we can close the 9th, which is awesome because it's also my birthday. So we're going to settle that up, and that opens up a whole venue of things. So if you are still watching this and you're new to the channel, every Friday I launch a new episode. And each week is a week of my life condensed down to between 12 and 20 minutes, give or take. And each week could be a little bit different. Right now it's been springtime, so there's a lot of cleaning up stuff, a lot of preparatory work, a lot of building things, and now I got this land thing coming up, so that's actually going to shift some interesting gears. So if you find some of the stuff interesting and you're curious what's going on, please do subscribe, because everything's going to be a little different. For instance, without spilling too many of the beans, there's so much research going on right now for the island, and like all the equipment and stuff I'll need. For instance, sanitation's an issue. It's expensive and very difficult on the island because it's like its own little eco thing, and there's all this water and blah blah blah. So the easiest, cheapest way I figured out how to get around it is actually doing like an RV type thing without an RV, just having all the proper holding tanks and everything else, so I can lug everything out with us, which that's great. And many other weird things I got to figure out. And there's going to be some glamping equipment, which I've never glamped. I'm usually the guy that sleeps under a tarp, but I want to be able to live comfortably while I work construction and stuff out there. It is nice to have a good rest, and I want to have Marie there, and I want her to feel comfortable too. So there'll be, if you're interested in that kind of gear and equipment, stay tuned. And I think that covers most everything I wanted to talk to you guys about right now. That doesn't spill too many beans. And hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, please do like and subscribe. Thumbs ups are nice. It lets me know things are cool. I love comments, especially questions. Even if there's also comments about things that you may have noticed that could make things better, but sounds, editing, or anything else. I really like learning things, so don't be afraid to give critiques. Just be kind about it. And I guess I'll see you all next week. Take care.